Oh, cool. Another Roblox ripoff of Overwatch.
Dude, you're not gonna believe this, but this is actually Overwatch, all the way back in 2013.
Shut up.
I know, right? It didn't always look like the game we're used to today.
Well, it's a good thing it doesn't look like that anymore, since it was supposed to redeem whatever they did with Titan.
Oh, Titan. You mean that Project Blizzard failed horribly?
Yeah, didn't they spend hundreds of millions of dollars and 7 years in development on that game? What the heck even happened to it?
Trust me, that's a story for another time. What's important is that for Blizzard, Overwatch needed to succeed. With Overwatch Season 1 out recently, it's important you learn the development of the game we love so much today. From the cuteness of Jetpack Cat to whatever abomination this is, let's rewind the clock.
Like most AAA games, the game looked completely unrecognizable in early development. With minimal to no textures, a non-existent physics engine, and bullets originating from the eyes, Overwatch was a concept yet to be fully realized.
Wow, so that's supposed to be Tracer? And wait, I thought you didn't know anything about this.
Never mind that. And yes, this crude, uninspiring, clunky model of a character is the beloved mascot of Overwatch, Tracer. Concepts of heroes were also all over the place, with Genji having Dragon Blade as his primary, and Winston firing balls of plasma. Once textures started being added, and a custom physics engine was built, the game started to look more and more like its 1.0 release.
And thus came the release of Overwatch. Overwatch was an instant success, having a massively successful launch in 2016, generating over $585 million in revenue on PC alone during its debut year. But with international praise comes backlash as well. See, Overwatch wasn't exactly an innovative idea. The concept of a hero shooter had already been explored by other games, primarily in Team Fortress 2. This sparked some controversy at the time, and had Valve fans outraged. Though harsh, the critiques were not fully unwarranted. It doesn't take a genius to notice the similarities between the games. From game modes to character designs and even maps, it was clear that TF2 served as a big inspiration to Overwatch. But hype continued to grow as the game grew tens of millions of players alongside achieving numerous game awards. Man, do I miss those days. Going home after school and being able to watch all my favorite streamers. That community was really something else.
I still vividly remember watching Overwatch clip compilations every day after school, not being able to wait for the next big event or new hero. Suffice to say, the community was brimming with excitement, and the future looked ever so bright. Here are some of my favorite Overwatch clips from back in the day.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And we're going to send it back to the desk right now. Oh, look at that, me. Shake my hand. Yeah, we're good. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
It was a great performance by Ureg on Eichenwald, though. I mean, really sick fire play. Profit. It's a jungle in here. XQC.
Pause, bro. The go is here, bro. The go. You got it? You got it? You got it? No.
And at the heart of the community was none other than the legendary game director, Jeff Kaplan. Jeff managed to bring that indie game-like care to what was behind the scenes, a money-hungry beast of a corporation. Jeff closed the gap between the consumer and the product through his transparency and engagement.
And at the pinnacle of it all, Overwatch made esports history by launching the Overwatch League, or OWL for short. OWL was a city-based professional esports league designed to mimic real sports structures. Teams featured the best of the best and gave an easy way for non-esports viewers to enjoy the game.
Los Angeles Valiant taking Houston's spot at number 5. They're number 2 in the official stage rankings for Overwatch League. They have a league best plus 13 map.
With clashing rivalries and eccentric personalities, it was hard to peel your eyes away.
This was the peak for Overwatch. which made what happened next so unexpected. Because what all the loving fans didn't realize at the time was that Overwatch was on the brink of collapse.
Slowly but surely, the illusion we had been fed about developer care and transparency started to dissipate. Updates started rolling out less frequently, and there was a massive drought of new content, with recycled events being the norm. Frustrating metas like the shield meta and crowd control made the game tiresome, regardless of what level you were playing it at. Overwatch felt neglected. And to top it all off, they introduced the devil herself, Bridget, an unkillable support that single-handedly made the game feel unplayable. But the light at the end of the tunnel was Overwatch's next project, Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 was gonna redeem everything, with numerous promises on a brand new PvE standalone mode, updated graphics, and a plethora of new heroes to play as. Overwatch 2 was meant to stand side by side with Overwatch 1, as a new game instead of just a sequel. But this was very short-lived. Delays grew, promises changed, and our idea of Overwatch 2 was growing more negative by the day. And do you remember what happened when the game finally released, Mika?
Yo, CJ, trust me, I know. When Overwatch 2 finally launched, it was an absolute disaster. Not only did it not come with the promised PvE mode, the entire purpose of the game by the way, but it also replaced our beloved Overwatch 1 with a buggy and incomplete mess of a game. But it was all worth it, right? Because now the game was going back to frequent updates and gameplay balances, right? Nope. The game stayed a mess, from loot boxes being replaced with a predatory battle pass system and heroes locked behind paywalls to Blizzard constantly shoving $20 skins down our throats, hoping to milk their loyal fanbase as much as possible. Everybody's hope for Overwatch 2 was completely crushed.
As player counts dwindled and more players migrated to the newly released Marvel Rivals, Blizzard looked at what used to be an industry giant as a disappointing mess. But this wasn't the end for Overwatch, because deep down, both the player base and the developers knew that this game still had great potential. So after a lot of backtracking and months of review bombing on Steam, Overwatch started to get back on its feet. Heroes were no longer locked behind a paywall, loot boxes were brought back, and the new stadium mode and competitive perks were greatly welcomed by the community. You started to feel the dormant heart of Overwatch beating again.
The community's calls were finally answered. 5 new heroes were introduced all at once. A new direction on actually bringing lore and cinematics back were also taken. Themed battle passes for once, and live events that communities can take part of again. Blizzard finally has a grasp of what they want to do with Overwatch, and it feels fresh and new. Only time can tell if they deliver this time, and not leave us disappointed as they have in the past. So what do you think, CJ? Do you think Overwatch is truly back? Or is this just another facade to keep the game alive for a couple more years?
Dude, I'm Team Redemption. I think the new season will be something truly special. We might not ever capture that same feeling as we had in those early days, but we're sure as hell in a better spot than we've been for a long time.